Hi Capricorn, your June 2023 reading. Let's start this off by pulling an archetype card. This is going to set the scene for our reading today and speak a little bit about what the archetype energy you're moving through at the moment is. We have the Sustainer, which is one of your archetypes for the sign of Capricorn overall. Let's delve a little bit deeper into what this card means for you. The Peacemaker, the Upholder, the Preserver. The Sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm and the mouths sweetly fed. The Sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing that there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the Sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the Sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The Sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. So you may notice the energy of this come to life for you in June when you're noticing abundance from your hard works and efforts, when you're recognizing people being generous towards you, and when you're in the position to be generous because of these efforts too. This is a reliable and supportive energy. It's very earthy, just like you, Capricorn. But there's a shadow side to everything. This could look like being overworked, even becoming resentful if you're not being noticed for the efforts you're making. Sometimes you can even feel tired in the shadow of this archetype. It goes on to say that it's important to take note of the difference between maintaining and sustaining. Which action describes your life more accurately? So we want to make sure that the maintenance of our life this month is something that can be sustained rather than just being maintained. One quick note on the astrology that might be impactful for Capricorn in particular. Pluto, planet of deep psychology and transformation, is heading back into the sign of Capricorn for one of its last visits there in our entire lifetime. So from the 11th of June onwards, we're going to have Capricorn lit up with Pluto. Should I say shining light on the shadows that are still existing in the deepest parts of our psyche. Just know that most of your transformation has already been done in this area of life. And what Pluto now is going to be doing for you is offering you this kind of like larger than life perspective of how far you've come and how you've grown on a very deep level. Let's get into your tarot card spread. As I'm recording today, the moon is in Capricorn. So a fun moon in Capricorn activity in relation to this archetype card could be to contemplate what truly sustains you, make a list, notice how simple yet powerful those things are, and then spend some time tending to them. We're going to get on camera again and look at what cards came through together, but let me lay them out. You might want to take a screenshot. Oh, the Nine of Swords as the first card through. That could mean you're dealing with something that's tricky for your mind right now. The Hermit, which is very reflective, so we'll get to the bottom of this. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I'm getting a strong Virgo energy already. The Justice card in reverse, possibly Libra. This is the Five of Swords in the recent past. Perhaps a mistake has been made and we're going to try and move forward from that. Beautiful energy to see coming through for you in the upcoming. The Empress card. That's that abundance that comes through via that Sustainer energy you're working with. The Tower card. The Four of Swords. The Five of Cups in reverse. and the Sun card. Okay, so this Nine of Swords energy that you might find yourself in presently is going to be very different looking come the end of the month when you're stepping into the Sun card energy of optimism, of alignment and freedom and liberation. So we're going to look at the journey now from you getting out of the prison of your mind. That could be guilt, it could be anxiety, stress or shame, and how the steps are taken towards going towards the outcome of this whole reading, which is the Sun card. We're going to flesh this out just a little more with some archetype cards. We also have a lot of major arcana energy in here in this reading too. My eyes are being drawn though to the Empress because I'm a sucker for abundance and love, I guess. Also working with love and indifference. So we do see a theme of love coming through this month too. Abundance and penury. Okay, so we're certainly seeing the efforts of your sustainer archetype coming to life now in pure abundance. And attack. So the attack for me is perhaps speaking to some sort of a past life experience when you were almost even attacked for the wealth you had or the lack of, or who you chose to love. And in this lifetime, I see that attack as something around jealousy coming through. So it may not, and very, very likely would not be a physical attack, of course, but an energetic attack where people, you are realizing, could be a little bit jealous of whatever you've been building and that sustainer archetype coming through. I'm picking one fixed star that we're going to work with this month as well. Now might be a good time to take a screenshot or subscribe. Deneb, this is the card, the tail of the goat fish, which is you, Capricorn. You are half fish, half goat. So this is really going to be speaking to you this month. The fixed star working with you this month is Deneb Al-Gedi. Okay, so that's the mysticism of Capricorn. It's the mastery of both the land and sea, and the archetype of mysticism which is involved with Capricorn, but also bringing that into the real world. And that's the kind of more goat, enduring, climbing the mountain, so to speak. This fixed star is so fascinating when linked to the sustainer archetype that's coming up for you this month. The guidebook says that Deneb Al-Gedi is focused on building for the future, often in a way that are intergenerational. Traditionally, we invoke the spirit of Deneb Al-Gedi when we look to build wealth and protect and maintain buildings. This is especially relevant today as the way that the grand majority of individuals will build wealth through the purchase of property, usually in the form of a primary residence. So this is all about what you're building for the future. Now, whether or not it is building a home is where the heart is. And that's where I feel like this love card is coming through. The home is more than just 4 walls and a house. It's so much more than that. So this is going to really be a good month for people that are getting on the property ladder, who are making investments, who are building, and they're thinking long term. This fixed star is actually found in the constellation of Capricorn. So we're already invoking the archetypes of what it truly means to be a true blue Capricorn coming through this month. So you're thinking about the long term, you're building, you're sustaining. But building homes are not the only investment strategies that this card is associated with. We can also see Deneb Al-Gedi involved in any long-term financial goal like investment portfolios, pensions and retirement accounts. Slow and steady wins the race, according to this fixed star, who does not encourage get rich quick schemes or the hustle of daily stock trading, but instead rewards commitment and perseverance. So this might be also a reassurance that we're on the right path. I definitely see with the tarot that there are some doubts coming through for you at the moment, and that you may feel like you've bitten off more than you can chew, Capricorn. There might also be stress, worry, and doubts about what you have invested in. And this is kind of here to assure you that reward comes later, and seeking gratification more quickly will lead us to getting less than we deserve. This is reassuring that we're on the right path, I guess, and it kind of encourage us to stay true to the plans that we have in place at the moment. Something's getting in on you presently. It doesn't look to be the energy that sustains for the entire month of June, however, where you're stepping into the Sun card by the end of the month. So this could be just you being discouraged at the moment if things aren't happening as quickly as you would like them to. This card, because it's linked to sustainability, and you got the sustainer archetype out of 78 cards. I mean, that's crazy to me. This would tell me that things might be moving slowly for you this month, but don't be discouraged because things are unfolding in the timeline that they're meant to for you. And that will become clear as you move further towards your goal. The Hermit card with the Nine of Swords might tell me that you are dealing with all of this alone. You are not voicing your concerns. You're not even really sharing in your worry. And we know that a problem shared is a problem solved. So there might be somebody that you can go to that can shine a light, like this Hermit, on some solutions to the problem. The Five of Swords, we see mistakes and solutions. This isn't past energy. Yes, maybe you have made an error of judgment. Maybe some of you feel like you've invested in the wrong work, you've invested in the wrong portfolio, that perhaps even you've been investing your time or your resources where they haven't delivered for you yet. And that can be definitely frustrating. However, there are solutions that are being presented to you. And recently it seems like the weight of your regrets, which is Five of Swords, might have been getting in on you. And some of you have elected to share this problem with another and been able to get new perspectives so that you're able to find the solutions rather than focusing purely on the mistakes that are made. We're all human, we're all making mistakes, but through the mistakes that we make and we learn from them. If we don't learn from them, that's another story. But when we do learn from them, there's nothing that can offer us more growth, really. You know, if everything was plain sailing, we wouldn't truly be growing. Yes, does it feel uncomfortable for you right now? Sure, but there's a bigger message with the Major Arcana Hermit to share so that somebody can shine a light. The mountain that we spoke about with Capricorn, you've got a mountain to climb at the moment. And I know that that might be bringing up some feelings of stress and anxiety and things feeling like they're becoming a little bit overwhelming. That's the anxiety, okay? That is perfectly normal. Sustainer card tells me that you are going to be looking to maintain a strong center this month though. As things spiral, the Tower card is here, but it's coming from the higher self, so that's very positive actually. As things crumble away or things that were not meant to be for you don't come to pass and even are destructing in front of your very eyes, there is a strong core that you've built within yourself at this point, the Sustainer, that helps you to stay centered in the midst of change. I feel like a wise guide or somebody with a lot of wisdom is coming in very soon, if not already encountered them, to give you advice. This could look like somebody in the financial sphere, or like we were saying, investments. It could look like somebody in real estate or otherwise. But there is somebody going to offer you the light that you need to see how to solve the problems that are stressing you out right now. And some of these problems that are existing right now, you may blame yourself. You may say, well, I messed up there and I made a mistake, or somebody else made a mistake. There was a mistake with paperwork recently. There was some sort of a glitch or an error along the way, and there's this kind of like blame game associated with both the Five of Swords and Nine of Swords together. We can blame other people and ourselves in the Five of Swords, but when the Nine of Swords appears, I typically think that 9 times out of the 10 swords we are blaming ourselves for that. The Knight of Pentacles in your conscious part of your reading. You're frustrated with the progress. Upright, this is going in a direction, slow and steady, like the fixed star is suggesting is the best way forward this month. Slow and steady, no get rich quick schemes or no risk taking, I guess. Sometimes risks are encouraged. With this fixed star and the archetype of sustainability, I see that slow and steady winning the race very much coming through for you this month. instinctual. Capricorn is a very instinctive person. So because this instinct though is applied to earth element, you are an initiator because you're cardinal, but you're not in the same sense as Aries cardinal fire is. That has a little bit more impulsivity and reactiveness. With Capricorn, there's a strategy because it's earth, it's practical, it's something to do with calculated risks, and Capricorn has this really great ability to read a situation and not always problem solve straight away, but apply a lot of practical knowledge to a situation. And I think that Capricorn gets a reputation for being risk adverse. I think it's just having a gift for strategy that comes through with the Capricorn energy. How and ever progress has been frustrating, I suppose, and this is what's on your mind right now. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse, well, it's that one step forward, 3 steps back coming through. This has shown up to me in a day where I got stuck in traffic, and then there was a snowstorm and we couldn't take our route, so we had to go the long way around. That's the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. You can't go, sometimes we want to cut through the mountain, and that's sometimes that's advice. If you can't go round, go through. But for whatever reason, I think that this month you need to take the long approach with something. There could be a lot of wisdom. The Hermit tells me there is a lot of wisdom being gained for you this month, and sometimes this comes with the slow and steady approach. The journey, Capricorn, for you this month is going to enrich you with wisdom that's going to be intergenerational, that's going to sustain and last you, not just in the decisions you're making now, or not just in the efforts that you're applying yourself to right now. This is going to be lasting you for the rest of your life. So what you're moving through now, yes, the mistakes, but we learn from the mistakes. Yes, the growth of feeling like all hope is lost, and then that beautiful emotion. One of the best things about being a human is experiencing the frequency of hope when we thought all was lost. Could we bottle that up, please, and just sell it for, millions? Yes, that would be amazing. But it's just part of the experience, and that's part of the wisdom gained. And your subconscious is really needing that, I think. Because in the subconscious part of the reading, actually, the Justice card in reverse is here. So almost you feel like there's something potentially karmic about what's going on, or you're just this is bloody unfair. And it might be just bloody unfair. The Knight of Pentacles is telling you that it's frustrating, but there's a reason that you're being held. There's a reason that you're being slowed down, and there actually is a greater reason as to why you might have to take the long way about this, or why you're left in the lurch, or even why you're just suspended in time, it seems like. And what might that reason be? Well, the Justice card would suggest that there is an imbalance, and the reversal, of course, suggests that. Upright, things are as they should be. Consequences are playing out for the necessary actions that have been taken. In the reversal, we can think that I didn't deserve this just doesn't seem fair. And you might start to spiral then at that point, 9 of Swords. What did I do to deserve this? Am I a bad person? And then you could be coming up with all of these kind of narratives that are embedded into your, unconscious file of facts buried away. Or you could be applying them to things that you're very conscious of. Recently I did this, so I fucked up here. This must be I must deserve this. And this is all a storyline, and we can create narratives. We're very imaginative species, aren't we? But the beautiful thing about that imagination is the ability to change that storyline, and that's where we really can gain a lot of our autonomy. We can choose to rewrite the story at any time, with every waking moment. The Justice card does tell me, though, that there's something a little off in the subconscious right now in the reversal. There could be a lack of belief here, and there could be a almost resignation for you, and I feel like that could be coming through with that sustainer archetype. This kind of, we saw a trapped feeling in the shadow. In the light, we're saying, look what I've built, look what sustains me. I'm aware of what things I can do, big and small, to offer a real feeling of I could go the distance, I could stay in this job for a long time. This relationship I have, I can see it working out, because you kind of know what sustains you and what doesn't. But in the shadow, there's a feeling of being trapped into something. And that's the Justice card in reverse. It's almost like this resignation that I must deserve this, or there's nothing I can do to change it. Sometimes things happen, and it's just a part of life, isn't it? When they don't work out how we wanted them to, when we feel like justice wasn't really quite served there, and and it can leave a bitter taste in your mouth. And we spoke about resentment in the opening of this video with the sustainer card. The subconscious might be in a little bit of a resentment frequency. It doesn't have to stay like that, but the subconscious mind is kind of its own animal, isn't it? It takes a little bit more work and effort to rewire the subconscious. Having a real deep look within this month, Capricorn, and figuring out where you haven't forgiven yourself, where you're still judging yourself, where you feel shame come up. And I feel like that is something that is going to help you move forward into the liberation and full authenticity that the Sun card is delivering to you by the end of the month. This is what it looks like when we forgive ourselves. This is what it looks like when we're being genuine and when we're acting in integrity, and where we would be able to say, yes, I might have made a mistake and I would do differently next time. It's important, I suppose, but not always possible, to be able to stand by ourselves through all walks of our life. We all make mistakes at different stages of our life. Sometimes when we're younger, we can make mistakes. And it's important, although we may say we would do differently that next time, it's important that we can still honor that shadow aspect if we put it to the shadow. But sometimes, you know, we would say like, oh, I couldn't stand by what I did when I was 18. Well, we should stand by what we did when we were 18 to a certain extent, you know, because just suppressing that in ourselves is just creating the frequency of shame. It's giving it a place to live, basically, and kind of get comfortable, and then it ingrains into the subconscious. It's better to bring these things to light. And when we do bring these things to light and say, well, you know, what was going on in my life at that point might have led me to act in a certain way, or make this impulsive decision, or do something that I might do differently the next time. That's where the growth and healing really occurs, and it allows your subconscious mind to feel safe, basically, and to know that there is a sort of divine frequency of forgiveness that exists, and we can cultivate that within ourselves by opening our heart to ourselves. The Justice card in reverse in the subconscious tells me that there's going to be a little bit of work and effort here for you to integrate the shadow, but remember that we're all human and we all make mistakes, and forgive yourself for anything that you maybe feel wasn't in your highest and best at the time. Moving forward in integrity now is being a fully encompassed, authentic being who is capable of good and bad. Everybody is capable of good, everybody is capable of evil, and we shouldn't really deny these things within ourselves. We can always just strive to do better next time. But I feel like love is really a very important message for you this month. We've got the Empress, and what did I say? I'm a sucker for love. I certainly am. And just to see the archetype, there's only one archetype that has the word love on it. To see that come through like this is really special for me, because it tells me that you are loving yourself. And I really mean that, the sustainer. Like, are you sustained right now? Is the person you are now, are you happy to walk in these shoes for an extended amount of time? We change and grow all the time, of course, but looking in the mirror, or just like going on that internal trip with yourself and kind of saying like, am I happy with who I am? I kind of feel like I'm getting a little bit of a tingling in my ear over here. So I'm kind of getting the feeling like, yes, you are. You have been through heaps of growth. Well, let's talk about Pluto and Capricorn. It's really about checking in with like, do you stand by yourself? Can you see your growth? Can you see how you've changed? And the person that you are now, are you happy to sustain this for a while? Is there anything you'd like to change? If not, this Pluto transit back into Capricorn is offering you a window to, and I think you're probably really already there, Capricorn, but for some of you, you still have this opportunity. I mean, we always have opportunity, but now there's a greater sort of symbiotic relationship with the cosmos, which, well, let's just take what we can get when we're offered assistance. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with taking advice from somebody who's quite wise and quite like lived and learned. But for me, I think that Pluto transiting back into Capricorn now on June 11th for a few months is going to sort of offer that sort of portal for you to say, what do I really just want to change right now so that I can sustain the new change in me for the long term. I often see like a Capricorn person, a lot of the times they all have a great work in a lifetime. Capricorn comes into this world with having a great work to complete, but quite oftentimes that great work can be ourself. Are you living in alignment? You're here as a Capricorn sun, moon, rising to really master something and have a great work to show for yourself. The loving relationships that you build throughout this lifetime are going to be a testament to everything that you've devoted your energy to. The Empress is coming through with a gift for you this month. It could be money, for sure. Venus, the Empress, that's all about money. But I think love is going to be the really significant chapter from now on out. So if you kind of feel like people are attacking you for your beliefs, for your for what way you want to do things in your life, kind of return to that center that you've sustained and built for yourself. And also I suppose kind of come back into love is the idea here, because love is all around you as well. So you can probably see quite a stark difference between the people who are indifferent to your success, who you wish were more enthusiastic because, you know, you love them and you do want their validation. It's just like, it's a human need. Like, we've always needed support. We've always needed to be seen as people. It's part of our subconscious wiring, I suppose. But you might start to notice, like, when you're super abundant, you know, that's kind of when people might say to you, like, oh, like, you kind of come under attack. Well, why would you spend your money here? Or like, do it a different way. Like, why would you choose to do that? That's just projections, of course, from other people. The penury kind of thing is when you're down in your luck, when you're not abundant financially, or when you don't feel motivated, and when you're not emotionally abundant, or when you're not like full of vitality. Who are the people that love you there? And even more so, you know, that really builds you up and things like that. That's where you know you've got like real connection. The Tower card is coming through from the highest self, saying that, okay, Capricorn, yes, we can talk about Pluto going into Capricorn again, and maybe, you know, reigniting some themes of your personal or even external crises that have been happening over the last 20 years. But you're a different person now. This is not your first rodeo show. The higher self is saying, like, you know, you've really gone through the motions of whatever Pluto and Capricorn has been already. So anything that comes up again for you, it's just the kind of like karmic debris being cleared, and it's just the sort of end throes of anything that's kind of just past its sell by date. And sometimes, like, you know, Sustainer card mentions, we kind of want to hold on and resist these changes sometimes. But the highest self is saying anything that's taken away, anything that doesn't work out, anything that not meant to be this month, the highest self coming with the Tower is just saying, like, this is what we want for you, this is what is best for you, and it's about trusting in the process. The Four of Swords in your environment, it's actually kind of like a welcome release now, because although you might have a lot going on your mind for now, the environment around you is full of like very like calm people and calm energies. You may have like got the beach nearby you, or like beautiful ocean. For me, the trees actually make me feel more grounded than the water, which maybe is sacrilegious for a Pisces to say, but it's true. I feel more grounded around tall trees and things like that. So there's a calming energy all around you that could just look like your work being quite calm, or your environment, your home and living situation being quite calm. This is a nice lifeline from the universe at a time of greater stress in your life, perhaps, because it's giving you some sort of a like a kind of a nice heart. Home is where the heart is, I want to say, but it's giving you a place to feel at peace. And you feel like you could get better night's sleep, I think, as the month goes on. The environment is here to tell you that the calm energies around you, the soothing voices, and the people that kind of can tell you, like, it's not going to be that big of a deal. We're going to figure it out. Those kind of things, like, we're going to work on this together. I have a solution. Let's take it one step at a time. You don't have to kind of like charge up that mountain. It can be, we can relax. You just lean into those people. That's what the environment is all about for you this month. Again, you fear the Five of Cups in reverse. You fear like you've made a mistake and that you've lost something. And I'm sorry for that, because that can be really stressful. And the Five of Cups in your hopes and fears position in the reversal is talking about charity sometimes, or help or aid. And there's no harm in accepting some sort of assistance, because we all make wrong turns at some point. And it's a spiritual service when people can come in and offer assistance, because we're helping them with their karma. And they're also just helping us out of a sticky situation when they can offer us alternatives or suggestions moving forward. We don't want to get into any sort of debt with anybody like that, perhaps, but at the same time, if these are people that like kind of like know what they're talking about, know what they're doing, I don't see any harm in accepting that help this month from anybody that is going to help you through. The Sun card, great way to end the reading. From the 22nd of June onwards, the Sun moves into your polar sign of Cancer. And I feel like that is when you you accept your lot. And that sounds kind of like, oh, I've got to accept my lot. But acceptance is a great frequency to be in. Acceptance is just so much more chill than trying to control or stress or creating scenarios that may not actually ever come to pass. The Sun card is kind of like when the energy shifts for you and you're like, okay, I kind of accept it. I accept what's happening. I am still very abundant, which is amazing. I'm sustaining, like, it's about the person you are. You're like, I like this person and I want to be this person for as long as it doesn't fit me anymore. And hopefully the people that you choose to spend your life with or be involved with, family, friends, lovers, romantic interests, hopefully they can support your growth as well and love you at all stages of your journey. But there's something about the next stage of your journey for me, Capricorn, that looks like it's not set in stone, but the sustaining energy tells me like this is kind of going to be the essence of you for a bit. And it's like, hello world, this is me and I'm happy with it. The Sun card is when there's like a new shift of energy later on in the month when the Sun moves into Cancer, and you just feel like, yes, things may not have always gone according to plan. I've made some mistakes. I even feel like I've had to take the long way around things oftentimes, but I am in acceptance of everything that is. And from that point, believe me, the Sun card is just like contentment, bliss, and authenticity, and really accepting yourself and all the blessings then that flood your world when you're in an aligned place of love, which is the Empress card, self-acceptance. It's just really like that luck frequency people talk about, being lucky, being in a frequency of luck. That's kind of when I see that shifting for you around the 22nd of the month onwards. Anytime I see the Empress card in a reading, it's still in your upcoming energy. I really expect for you to feel abundant, grateful, full of hope, and kind of rewarded at the same time. Thanks for watching this month, Capricorn. And if you're still stuck with me, I have a relationship reading that might apply to you. It's going to be an exclusive piece of content on my Patreon. I'll link it down below. If this is all you are sticking around for, I'll see you again soon, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Take care.